The forest had been silent for 3 days, too silent. No birds, no movement, no wind. Just the kind of silence that crawls under your skin and tells you something is watching. So when my steel trap snapped shut that morning, I thought I had finally caught whatever had been stalking me. I sprinted through the trees, my breath turning white in the cold morning air. The trap was near the riverbank, hidden beneath dead leaves and snow. But as I approached, I froze. It wasn't a wolf. It wasn't a bear. It wasn't even human. A girl, no, not a girl, was struggling inside the trap, metal jaws clamped around her ankle. Her skin had a faint, luminescent glow beneath the dirt and scratches, and veins of silver pulsed faintly like liquid stars. She looked up, and her eyes, bright violet with black-ringed irises, widened with primal terror. "Please, don't eat me," she cried, voice shaking. Her English was broken but clear. For a moment, I just stood there like an idiot. Eat her? What the hell was she talking about? "I'm not going to eat you." I snapped, confused. Who even? Why would I? What are you? She recoiled from me, clutching her leg in pain. Her clothes were torn, not like fabric but like some flexible woven armor. Her hair, silver white with tiny metallic strands, reflected the winter light. She looked wrong for this world. I stepped toward her slowly. "Hey, calm down. You're hurt. I just want to get that trap off you." "No," she hissed, baring sharp canine teeth. It wasn't just fear, it was survival. She thought I was a predator. "Look," I said, raising my hands, "if I wanted to hurt you, I already would have. Just let me help." Her violet eyes stayed into mine, studying, calculating, searching for a lie. Finally, she gave a tiny nod, barely trusting me. I knelt beside her and pulled a multi-tool from my jacket. Up close, I could see her skin wasn't smooth. It had faint etched patterns, like microscopic circuitry. My hands hesitated. "What are you?" I whispered. She didn't answer me. Instead, she looked over my shoulder, past me, and her face went pale with terror. "They found me," she whispered. "Run." For a second, I didn't understand what she meant. Who found her? But then I heard it. A faint humming in the sky, mechanical and unnatural, growing louder. I turned my head slowly. Through the cracks in the frozen treetops, something metallic passed overhead like a silent shark gliding through water. Not a plane, not a drone. Something else. "Who's looking for you?" I asked, but she didn't answer. She was already trying to pull her leg from the trap again, gritting her teeth in pain. She didn't care if she tore flesh doing it. She just wanted to escape. "Stop." I grabbed her shoulders. "You'll lose your leg if you yank on it like that." Her breathing was fast, panicked. "They will kill me. If they see you with me, they will kill you too." She spoke like someone who had lived through that threat before, someone who knew what being hunted really meant. I didn't have time to process anything. The humming grew louder. Instinct took over. I snapped open the trap with a quick pull of the pressure latch. She exhaled sharply and nearly collapsed, but she didn't thank me. Instead, she stared at me like she couldn't believe what I'd done. "No time," I said, grabbing her arm. "Can you walk?" She tried to stand but stumbled. Her ankle was bleeding, silver blood dripping onto the snow like quicksilver mercury. Whatever she was hurt badly. I didn't think, I just acted. I threw her arm over my shoulder and pulled her with me as we moved deeper into the trees. "Why help me?" she asked between pain breaths. I didn't have a good answer. Maybe I was reckless. Maybe I was stupid. Maybe surviving alone in the wilderness for a year had made me forget what it felt like to protect someone. "Call it a bad habit," I said. "I don't like leaving people behind." We made it to the rocky ridge above my cabin. The sky-searching drone passed again, sweeping the area with a blinding white beam. I pressed her against the rocks and covered her glowing skin with my jacket. "Don't move," I whispered as the beam skimmed right over us. The drone slowed. It had detected something. The girl looked at me with terror in her eyes. "They know I'm here," she whispered. "And now they know you helped me." The beam turned toward us and stopped. The search beam froze over us, burning against the rocks like a white sun. I held my breath. The girl was trembling, not from the cold, but from fear carved deep into her bones. The drone hovered, its sensor scanning, calculating, deciding. Then, just as suddenly as it had found us, it moved on, drifting slowly into the forest like a predator pretending to lose interest. But predators never give up, they circle. "We need to move," I whispered. She tried to stand again but winced in pain. Her ankle was swelling fast, the metal jaws of my trap having torn straight through skin and muscle. I didn't think, just lifted her into my arms. She flinched in surprise. "I can walk," she said stubbornly. "Sure you can," I muttered, "right after you grow a new foot." I carried her down a narrow ravine toward my cabin, an off-grid log shelter I built to disappear from the world. Not a single power line, no signals, no noise. Just the way I wanted it. Until today. Once inside, I set her on the table and grabbed a medical kit. She watched me, tense, suspicious, but curious. "You live alone?" she asked. "Yeah," I said. "Why?" I paused. "Because people hurt people." I kept my eyes on her wound as I spoke. Sometimes it's easier to survive without them. She was silent for a moment. Then why help me? I didn't answer. Instead, I pulled a pair of sterilized forceps from the bag. "This is going to hurt," I warned. She gave a faint, humorless smile. "Pain is familiar." I started cleaning the wound, and silver blood smeared across my gloves. It looked unreal, like molten metal. But beneath all that strangeness, the way she tensed, the way she tried not to wince, that was human. "You still haven't told me your name," I said. She hesitated. "Thea," she finally whispered. "I'm Hunter." "Hunter," she repeated carefully, tasting the word like it was strange to her. "Is that your occupation or your identity?" "Both," I said simply. Lightning flickered outside. A storm was rolling in. Good. It would mess with search signals. Bad. Storms always brought trouble. I wrapped her leg, but before I could step away, she gripped my wrist. "They will return," she said. "Not to rescue me, but to erase me. I escaped them, and they do not allow loose ends." "Who are they?" I asked. Her eyes darkened. "My own people." Thunder cracked, and just like that, everything became much more dangerous than I had imagined. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The cabin felt smaller now, like the walls were closing in. Outside, the storm hit full force, wind howling like a wounded beast as rain battered the roof. If her people were coming, the weather would only slow them, not stop them. "You said you escaped them," I said. "Why were they holding you?" She lowered her gaze. "Because I discovered something I was never meant to find." "Which is?" She hesitated, like she was searching for the right words. "A lie," she finally said. "A lie powerful enough to destroy a world." Before I could ask more, something thudded outside, heavy, deliberate footsteps circling the cabin. I motioned to her to stay quiet and reached for the rifle mounted by the door. But Thea grabbed my arm. "They are not like you," she warned. "They will not speak. They will not negotiate. If you fight, they will kill you." I loaded a round with a metallic click. "Then let's make sure it's not a fair fight." Another sound came, this time above us. The roof. They were climbing onto the cabin. Then, darkness. The power died. Not that I had any, but somehow the room grew unnaturally dark, like light itself had been drained from the air. A low-frequency vibration passed through the walls, making every bone in my body tremble. "They are scanning," Thea whispered, "searching for life signatures." I didn't know how to hide life signatures, but I knew how to hide heat. I grabbed a thermal survival blanket and threw it over her. "What about you?" she asked. I smirked. "I'm already dead inside. They won't notice." It almost made her smile, but then the roof cracked. A massive, armored shape crashed through the ceiling in a storm of splinters. A towering figure stood in the middle of the room, 7 feet tall, plated in obsidian armor that pulsed with faint violet energy. Its face was hidden behind a mask of mirrored metal that reflected everything and revealed nothing. Its arms shifted and split apart, forming a weapon from within its body. Cold, efficient, terrifying. The hunter. Thea's breath hitched. "We must go." Now! The creature locked onto her instantly. Target acquired. The voice wasn't human or alien. It was programmed. I didn't think. I tackled Thea to the ground as a first energy blast ripped through the wall behind us, exploding half a cabin into fire and shattered wood. We were out of time. The blast tore through the cabin like a thunderclap, hurling burning wood and metal across the room. Heat punched into my back as we hit the floor. I grabbed Thea's arm. "Move!" I shouted. She tried, but her injured leg buckled again. I pulled her up, half carrying her toward a back door, but the hunter moved faster. It didn't run. It glided, silent and precise, blocking our exit with terrifying efficiency. A second shot charged in its arm, electricity pulsing through a weapon like contained lightning. We were dead. No way out. Unless I threw us both sideways as a shot fired. It blew apart my workbench instead of us, scattering tools everywhere. Without thinking, I grabbed the closest thing, an old magnesium flare. Not a weapon, but fire always levels a playing field. I yanked it to life and hurled it at the creature's face. It reeled back, armor reacting violently to the heat. Not immune then, just arrogant. "That won't hold it for long," Thea warned. "Doesn't have to," I replied. We crashed through the back door into the storm. Rain came down like needles, wind ripping through the trees. I dragged her toward the ridge trail, but she yanked free of me. "No! Stop!" I toned. "What are you doing?" Her eyes weren't afraid anymore. They were determined. "It won't stop hunting me," she said. "Not until I'm dead. And now that you helped me, you're a target too. They will hunt you across worlds." "So what? I'm supposed to leave you here to die." She stepped closer, voice low. "You don't understand. This isn't just about me." "Then explain it." She hesitated, then finally spoke. "My people, the Virel Dominion, we are not explorers. We are not advanced saviors of the galaxy like your stories imagine." Her voice shook. "We are farmers, but we do not grow crops. We grow life." A cold feeling settled in my gut. "What kind of life?" "Civilizations," she whispered. "We see planets. We watch them evolve. And when they reach their peak, when they are about to surpass us, we harvest them." My heart pounded. "Earth is next," she finished. Another explosion hit behind us, the hunter tearing through the wall again. I stared at her, this strange, wounded being who had fallen into my trap and shattered everything I thought I knew. "Why tell me?" I asked. "Because," she said softly, eyes burning into mine, "I didn't escape to survive. I escaped to find someone who would fight back." The hunter emerged from the flames, and I knew then this was just the beginning.